Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I have 6 new books to show you, which is not a lot compared to some of my other book hauls. I'm trying to restrain myself a little bit and not buy too many new books for myself all the time. I'm also trying to use the library more and my Kindle more, which is something that I have to get used to. So the first book is the book I'm currently reading, but by the time you watch this video I will most probably have already read it because I'm pre-filming. The Glass Castle by Jeannette, which is a non-fictional piece of work. It caught my attention some years back because apparently this was a very beautiful and unique piece of work about a girl who grows up in America with very wild and adventure-seeking parents and also her siblings. They never stayed at one place for a long period of time. They kept moving around. I believe that she kind of cherished her childhood, but the thing that got her writing this book is that she's now a grown-up and she's ashamed that her mother is still homeless. Her father is dead, unfortunately, but her mother is living in New York City as a homeless woman, while Jeannette herself is an elite, up-and-coming, I don't know what she's working with, a journalist in New York, and she has everything she could wish for. I've been diving more into non-fiction recently, so I knew I had to get this book in my collection. Also, this one is being turned into a movie, which I'm most definitely going to watch, so it's perfect timing that I'm reading this now because I think the movie will be out here in Denmark in about 2 weeks' time. Let's continue with the non-fiction books. Here we have Wild by Charles Strait. The funny thing is that, of course, I've known about this book for quite some time, but the reason that got me buying it now is that I was rewatching Gilmore Girls reunion episodes with my mother, and you know that in those episodes we have references to this book, and that got me wanting to actually read it. I have watched the movie but not read the book, and I'm now seeing that the font of this one is extremely tiny, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but nevertheless I am excited to read it. It's about this woman who decides to walk the coast of America by herself through the wilderness, which is something that I find fascinating. I believe that she figured out things about her life during that journey. Woo! Which is always a good thing. The third book is the last non-fiction book, and that is this one, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by Berend. This one deals with some killings that took place in America once upon a time. I can't remember when, but apparently these killings created history, and there is something about this statue which is famous today. I don't know why that is because I haven't read the book yet, but I kind of find it interesting that this one is written with dialogue as far as I've been told, and it doesn't read like a dry piece of non-fiction. It reads like a story, but it is real. The next 2 books are novels that I have already read, but I didn't own them, and I knew that I want to reread them pretty soon, so I decided to get them. The first one is East of Eden by Steinbeck, a beautiful piece of work which is set in America. I just really love Steinbeck. He writes amazing stories, and I remember reading this one when I was a teenager, I believe, and I really liked it, so now is the time to read it again. I will probably pick it up during summer or spring because I feel like this book is perfect for that time of the year. And then I have here Ready Player One by Ernest, Cline, which I read as a library book some years ago. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as everyone else, but for some reason I've had the urge to reread it recently. What attracts me to this book is that it deals with video games and the 1980s, which reminds me a little bit of Stranger Things that I'm currently watching on Netflix. And also, I just really like video games, at least reading about them. I don't really like playing them, but I like reading about them. So this is going to happen very soon. I'm going to reread this and see if I still love it or still like it, or maybe I will grow to love it even more. The book I've saved for last is also the biggest book, and it's a book that is so uncommon from what I normally read, but I for some reason want to read it, and I think the actual book is stunning. This is The Passage by Justin Cronin, which is a book about vampires, I believe, and a disease that is spreading in a world in which people have to flee in order to not get the disease. And I believe this disease turns you into a vampire. And then it's about this girl who is the main character, who grows up in this apocalyptic America. I heard about this book through an ASMR channel that I'm following. I'm one of those people who love ASMR. They relax me, those videos, they help me fall asleep. And then I'm following this girl who talked about her favorite books, and this was one of those. And she made it sound so interesting. She read aloud from the first page. She told about her love for it, and I just was intrigued to read it. There are 2 more books in this series, so if I really love it, if I really love all of the 1,000 pages that it is, then I can continue this adventure. And those were the 6 books. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and also I hope obviously that I will enjoy these books once I get to them. Thank you very much for watching, and until my next one, happy reading.